It's the Daily Dog.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Doug. I am happy that you are hanging out with me today. So a few weeks ago, I had a couple of friends talking with me about the channel, and they made the point, you haven't done any music by Steely Dan. What's up with that? And I'm like, well, I've listened to Steely Dan. I know their music. And they said, well, we don't care. We want you to break down a classic Steely Dan record. And the one that they suggested is Asia. And that's the one that we're going to be doing today. So I have heard this, but it's been many years. And as I recall, it is a wonderful, wonderful sounding piece. And it has one of the best drum solos in the history of popular commercial music. And I am excited to get to it. So this piece, Asia by Steely Dan, is also the name of the album, right? This is the sixth album by the American jazz rock band known as Steely Dan. The album was released in 1977. So these guys are a little bit of a different breed, right? It's not your classic, 4 or 5 person or 6 person lineup that all plays their own instruments and does their stuff. Donald Fagen and Walter Becker, the guys who are the band leaders of Steely Dan, they worked with nearly 40 pro session musicians to develop the unique sound of this record. And they pushed the boundaries of sophistication, as far as I'm concerned, in commercial popular music. So there's a different lineup of musicians on every track of this. It's really a unique way to make a pop jazz recording, right? Normally you try to get together a group of musicians and find a synthesis and work off of each other. These guys are pros, they're session musicians. As I was looking through it, they've got different drummers, different players in virtually every track. It's really fascinating. So on this particular track, here are the musicians that are featured. Donald Fagen on lead vocals, synths, and a whistle, and also on backing vocals, interesting. Steve Gadd, I think the hero of this particular track, is on the drums. Steve is one of the best known and highly regarded drummers in the history of rock music. Y'all, so if think about Simon and Garfunkel, the song 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, and think about that great drum track that's in that. That's Steve Gadd, right? So he's performed with Paul Simon, Simon and Garfunkel, Eric Clapton, James Taylor, Chick Corea, a whole bunch of folks throughout his career. And Megan and I actually got a chance to see Steve Gadd in action about 20 years ago. We went to an Eric Clapton concert that was called One More Car, One More Rider. And the concert that we went to, the tour stop that we went to, was in Philadelphia back in the summer of 2001. But they made that into a full double live CD, and Steve Gadd was on the drums for that. It was amazing, amazing performance. Also on this particular recording, we've got Chuck Rainey on the bass. We've got guitar players Larry Carlton, Walter Becker, and Denny Diaz. Joe Sample on the Fender Rhodes keyboard. Michael Omartian on the piano. Victor Feldman on percussion. Wayne Shorter on the tenor sax. Jazz icon, right? He had played with, what comes to mind? Art Blakey, Miles Davis, to name a few. And Timothy B. Schmidt is listed as providing some backing vocals. Of course, he famous as being a member of the Eagles. So we've got a wonderful lineup of musicians, and this piece was written by Fagen and Becker, and I am anxious to dive into it. I am a little bit wary of trying to figure out the chord structure because the harmonies in this piece are quite complicated and sophisticated, but we're going to enjoy it nonetheless. Here we go, Steely Dan and their piece Asia. Here we go. The bass sounds like a B to me. I can get that far. It's like a B major 7th chord. Maybe with an added 9th, some fun stuff in there.
up on the hill, people never stand.
Changes to B minor.
Just don't care.
Up a step, half step. C. Up to D. Listen to those vibes, those low vibes.
Chinese music under banyan tree. Here at the Dude Ranch above the sea.
Wow.
Asia, when all my dime dancing is through,
Chromatic third there.
run to you.
Woo! Nice. I think that chord was a tritone substitution for all my jazz friends out there. It was on it went to 2 and it should have gone to 5, but it went to flat 2 before it went back to B.
No return.
And I've looked through the lyrics of this. I have no idea, y'all. I think Asia is the name of a lady, but I'm not sure.
No helix in the sky tonight. Throw out the hardware. Let's do it right.
It's the same chord progression as before,
Asia,
so they're giving me another shot at it, but
when all my dime
Woo.
dancing is through, I run to you.
yeah, that chord. Before it goes back to B, but that was a 2-5-1 to A, I believe. The voicings of these chords are just right where they should be, right? So it's a little solo section A. It's an A major chord and they go down to subtonic, which is G. Got a half step to F sharp. Back to G. If that was G, then that's a C chord. But everything is so tasteful. These guys really are pros. There's the whistle. And a step. Down that half step again. They are repetitive. I think that's still just hanging out in A. Same as before, that G went down to C. A lot of movement by root position chord by step, either by half step or by whole step. And it sort of can break down functional tonality of what we're used to, movements by fifth. They're moving by step. Okay. Drum solo. And the tenor sax, Wayne Shorter on the sax. Yeah, chromatic notes, just parallel chords moving around. go again. Unbelievable. Woo. There the chords start moving. I believe that repetitive chord sounds like A over B to me. A complicated chord. Let's put it that way. This song gives me stank face for a whole different reason than a bunch of the other pieces I've been doing gives me stank face. You know, it's the chords themselves that are just making me go,
Up on the hill,
okay.
they think I'm okay.
They got back to where they started
They say
on that B chord. Stop.
Chinese music.
It's like everybody's playing right complementary with the other players in the band. It's amazing cohesion for session players, really.
Asia, when all my time dancing is through, I run to.
When all my dime dancing is through, I run to you. Another drum solo, y'all. Listen to the synthesizers. Spooky up there. Woo. Wow. And I think it's gonna, yeah, it fades out from there. It's unbelievable, right? I mean, normally we listen to a piece of popular music or rock music, especially from back in the day, and you're you're expecting solos, right? Guitar solos, epic guitar solos, or even epic keyboard or organ solos from back in the day. No, they give the drummer 2 solos, and as far as I know, the story goes that Steve Gadd came in that day. He was hired to come in that day as a session drummer to play, and the chart that was there for him was Asia, this piece, and he like read it down in like 1 or 2 takes, and you can actually tell there's no real click to that. There's it's a real person playing a real drum set, and it's mic'd unbelievably. So I should have told this to you before. If you have not been listening to this on your headphones, you should go back and listen to that because it's remarkable. Steely Dan, these guys are kind of the head and shoulders like pros above a lot of the rest of these musicians in this space. A lot of these guys are pros, right? But the way that Fagen and Becker run their band is completely unique, and that makes their sound completely unique as well. It's a great fusion of a jazz approach and a popular music approach, and it's kind of all just smashed together, and it makes a pretty tasty sandwich as far as I'm concerned. Steely Dan and their kind of mini epic Asia, and Steve Gadd on the drums. All hail Steve Gadd on the drums. Wonderful stuff. I hope to get to more from Steely Dan in the future, but this was a fun one to get started with on the channel. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have not listened to a bunch of Steely Dan's music, now is your opportunity, all right? Study up for next time. And there will be a next time. So thanks everybody for being with me today. I very much enjoyed this one. We will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.